Hey team, Nicole here. In an effort to make the selling practices shared on our last Open Tech forum easier to access, we have created this video with bookmarks to easily navigate through the shared practices. Let's jump into it. Jason's selling practices. Jason started off by saying, I may not get sales as consistently, but I make up for it by making big sales. He shared that he pays attention to how the customer's setup looks like, and that he always mentions the surge protectors and HDMI cables. He will ask customers, have you ever thought about having a soundbar? If the customer has had a soundbar before, he will inquire what they previously had and compare the quality of that brand to our brand. If the customer hasn't had one before, he will say that they can go to Walmart and waste $100 on a poor quality soundbar, or they can waste thousands of dollars on a great quality brand. He lets them know Polk is on the higher end of that quality scale, but is far less expensive than the same quality of soundbar that you might get from Best Buy. He also lets them know that Dish and Polk have partnered to make this specific soundbar for Dish customers and Dish systems. Then he'll go over the capabilities of our soundbar. He focuses on the voice mode, which muffles background noise to make voices easier to hear, and that's usually what gets customers' attention. Once interested, he will then ask the customer, well, why don't I plug this in real quick just to show you what I was talking about? If the customer agrees to that, it's about a 90% success rate on getting that sale. He always talks about the three necessities: sound, video, and protection. He only talks about sales once the TV is up and running, because at that point, the customer is happy and he's had the chance to build the rapport with the customer. If the customer is on the fence or starts showing any negative signs, he will change the subject. For instance, he'll go back to doing customer education with the remote. Doing that helps him hit the reset button and potentially allows the sales conversation to start over fresh. Lastly, he tells customers the free HDMI cable that comes with their receiver only allows up to 720 resolution. That is HD, but it is the lowest quality of HD. Then he tells them the way that it works is all three components have to be on the same level: the TV, the cable, and the hopper. Usually the customer's TV is a 1080 or 4K, their hopper is 4K, but the cable bottlenecks the signal. He tells them that if they don't upgrade their HDMI cable, all three components are now the lowest level at 720, and that he can throw in a 4K cable in there right now to bring it up to the highest quality. Chris K's selling practices. He first mentioned that he pays attention to what the customer setup looks like when he does the walkthrough. He focuses on the added value of the items that he discusses with the customers. If the customer is upgrading from a VIP system to the hopper, that should automatically be an HDMI sale. Let the customer know that their new hopper is capable of far greater video resolution than the VIP receiver is. He double checks the TV settings to see what the TV is rated for. If it's rated for 720 or 1080, but especially if it's rated for 4K, he focuses on the added value of the upgraded HDMI cable. The surge protector brings added value by protecting the receivers from surges and other potential issues. This will help proactively protect the receiver and ensure the customer is not waiting for technicians to come out to fix issues. And don't forget to mention the lifetime warranty on those surge protectors. If the customer already has surge protectors and HDMIs, then he will put a remote skin on the remote and explain how it feels comfortable, it's got a personalized, stylish look, etc. Many successful sales happen with pre-framing. For example, look at the call summary and see if anything about storms or bad weather was mentioned. When you see that, that's an open door to selling surge protectors. Your opening question can be as simple as, "Have you guys been getting bad weather lately?" When they respond with the nasty weather they've had, you can say you've been seeing that too, and then loop that into the surge protector spiel. Chris said, consistency is key. Talk with every customer about what you think they need, then go from there. When trying to sell more than one kind of item, ask an open-ended question like, how many HDMI cables do you want? Or make a professional recommendation like, I would highly recommend an HDMI at the Hopper location at least, but would also recommend an HDMI at the Joey locations as well. If the customer currently has a soundbar that's having problems, it's an easy opportunity to talk about ours. Focus on Polk, making these for Dish customers and Dish systems, sell them on the quality of the Polk system, and put the customer at ease with the purchase by reminding them that you can return to fix any issues with it for free. Lastly, Chris touched on selling Boost. To do that, he tells people that Dish has rolled out a new cell phone plan to bundle with your TV to save a bunch of money. It's just like any other network with all the newest phones. It uses major cell towers as well as their own 5G towers. Boost works great, but there is no contract. So if for any reason it doesn't work for you, you can cancel at any time. Get your first 3 months for $15 per month per line, and then lock in a lifetime price of $25 per month per line. Boost is only going to continue to get bigger and better. So if you're having service or billing issues with your current provider, you should jump on Boost right away and give it a try. Nate's selling practices. Nate started off by saying, although it's not Dish's best practice, I usually start with smaller items to lock in some sales, then go up from there. He doesn't use the demo bag, and he doesn't demo the soundbar unless the customer wants to hear it. He focuses on hyping up the Polk product and then bringing it in. He also mentioned that he does not work for free. The Dish Protect plan covers the $95 truck roll to assess the problem, but it doesn't cover the additional cost of materials and labor for things like a line chewed by a pet or animal, a new roof installation, tree overgrowth, etc. Nate will do the site survey walkthrough with the customer, discuss the antenna placement or upgrade, and locate the junction area. He does that work first, and then we'll usually talk about the surges and cables while he's installing the equipment. That way, he's had time to build the rapport with the customers. Dawan also shared some best practices for selling wire managements. For instance, if a tree has grown over the signal, it's usually within reach of the dish. Dawan purchased a tree branch trimmer to offer that service to customers, and 9 times out of 10, they will accept because his price is way cheaper than a tree service company, and Dawan is already there. If a customer needs an arc swap that isn't called for on the work order, Dawan will also offer it to the customer as something to be added to the work order and charge wire managements from there. Here's some additional sales feedback. When discussing the wire managements with your customers, you can approach the conversation by saying, what you're asking or needing me to do is not on your work order, but I'm happy to add it to the work order for you. Here's how much that will cost, and quote them for as many wire managements as you'd like. If the customer is unhappy with that price, follow up with something like, you know what, you've been such a pleasure to work with, and I appreciate that. How about I give you a discount? And drop a wire management or 2 off of that price. Wire managements don't always need to be specific to dish-related work. Keep your eyes peeled for other opportunities. Some examples include removing DirecTV dishes, or clearing out clogged gutters. When discussing wire managements with customers that have had their roof redone, remind them that the customer's insurance has about $200 built into it for every re-roofing claim, just in case the customer has satellite service. So they can forward the receipt from today's wire management sales to their insurance company to be reimbursed. You can also sell equipment like a Wally or an extra dish kit as wire managements. Please contact us before processing that sale to ensure the customer is being charged the proper amount. Please remember, sales are a numbers game. You are usually going to hear no more than you hear yes, so keep looking for those yeses. Sales are very personal and vary between techs from customer to customer. All these best practices are ideas for you to take and mold into something that you are comfortable and successful with. If you aren't comfortable with sales, you won't be successful with sales. We may push you out of your comfort zone to find something that is successful, but the consistent daily process is something you have to be comfortable with to land those sales. Don't be afraid to try new things and shake it up to see if there's a better way. Final note, the key to sales is being comfortable with them. As a friendly reminder, you are not out there selling by yourself. We are all in this together, and we fail or succeed as a team. Our team mentality is a huge reason why we are successful. Post things to tech support. Call or text your peers. Let's all help each other make as much money as possible on every single job. And let's lock in that scorecard incentive bonus every single month. We don't want anyone leaving that money on the table. As always, thank you all for everything that you do. Let's continue to rock those sales out, team.